That's just the one she.
Miss Gwen, it's so nice to see you.
Yeah, we
So
missed
nice
you
to see
last
Didn't think
time.
you were gonna make it.
No, I did. I'm here. Everything got canceled. They pushed it to February.
Some
'cause
good came out of the fires.
LA's, my
Right.
poor brother
There it
Pardon?
my brother is one of the.
Oh, wow.
His home's still standing and all.
is. Yeah, a lot of the
bunch of
actors and actresses have lost their homes already.
Yeah, but how come they get to go and see if their houses are, people like my brother can't?
Status,
Pasadena.
They're letting people show their ID, and they're letting them have like 5 minutes.
really?
And my brother works
It's
for,
according to the news, you know?
he
like-
works for emergency services for
Fire
LA
that hot,
County.
there ain't gonna be nothing.
You would think they would do it.
Yeah, they are
But it's a
sure.
good thing too, kind of in a way, because
Stolen
of the
Governor
looters.
Newsom with, state of California with their
Please, I was in a pretty good mood before that.
policy on range management.
Oh, God.
Yep.
It's-
They were told and told and told they needed to at least clear the ground, you know,
Yeah.
stuff up and do nothing.
Okay, we're gonna start. You know me.
Bing, bing. Get her done. That's almost too high. I don't know how to make this thing go down.
I know. I'm like this.
John can't reach the ground.
I can't either, to be honest. I'm not gonna touch it. Okay.
Aha, there we go.
Yeah, they can't see you.
I know.
Can Sean have a booster seat?
Look at me. I'm dangling.
I just lowered mine because I couldn't reach the ground.
I don't wanna touch it though.
We had to do that to the whole council, just lower them all to the
We
bottom.
should have.
For mine.
Switch everybody's chairs around.
Hey. Not all.
Lord.
Oh, I have to go by that one, huh? Okay.
Yeah, that's the official time.
I almost jumped the gun.
Yeah, 'cause the computer already after 6. Oh, there we go.
Okay, good evening. I'm going to call the meeting to order. It is now 6 o'clock, January 9th. And this is a regular meeting for the Animal Control Commission. So the call to order is at 6 exactly. And we're going to be doing this Pledge of Allegiance. Sean, you want to lead us?
Sure.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Kathy Gwynn, here. Kathleen Harris is absent. She won't be here tonight. Sean Schwarzenberger,
Here.
Jerry Hall,
Here.
and Lacey Goodlett.
Here.
This is the time of the meeting where we can receive oral communications from the public. So if you have you want to come up, we have in the audience, actually my neighbor who got the time wrong and the day wrong a couple of times.
I was eager. I was eager.
So I go, why don't you just come with me so you know where it is, and here we go. So she wanted to bring something to the attention of the commission. And
Yes, I would. I don't need to bend this down, do I?
introduce yourself and
Go
where
ahead.
you
Yeah.
live.
Okay. I don't want to get too loud.
Yourself and where you live.
My name is Vicki Banks, and I live within the city of Porterville. I live off of Morton 380 North, well, it used to be North Lindale, but now it's Lindale Street. The concerns that I have is we have numerous loose dogs running in our neighborhood. First, it was just 1 or 2 dogs, but in recent weeks, it has developed into a small pack. It could be anywhere from 3 to 5 dogs at one time. The dogs, and we have Ring cameras, so we are able to pick these dogs up, and they've even come up to my front door, so I can pretty well, distinguish who they are. There's a pit bull type dog. There are 2 German shepherds. There is a black dog with pointed ears that looks like a German shepherd, but he's solid black. And then there's also a white dog, kind of a labbish looking, but not quite, and he's got a mottled face. He's got some gray, some brown, black. We had contacted Animal Control. I talked to Mike. He was kind enough to bring out a cage. This was or a trap, right before Christmas. So it was in our yard about 2 weeks before Christmas. I think they picked it up finally that Friday before Christmas. Tried everything. These dogs would avoid the trap. It's like they're either familiar with it or they avoided it. We even covered it. I covered it with a tarp. We tried to Disguise it, didn't do any good. These dogs were still coming. And then I believe in the conversation, these people are known to animal control. I mean, they know where these, I guess the German Shepherd owners, they've talked to them before. And so I think for about 4 days, we didn't see the dogs again. And then all of a sudden, they started coming out. They were coming out again. And so I recently emailed Mike pictures off of my video camera, off our Ring cameras, showing the nights that they came out. Just this past week, they've came out. I am concerned because we do have not only a lot, well, it's a neighborhood, there's people walking at Veterans Park, and believe it or not, there are a lot of people that walk out there late at night. And they are just regular people. They're not the homeless, which they're out there too, but there are people jogging and running around the park. I've gotten up numerous times just to look out the window, and I've seen like 2 or 3 people walking, and you can hear them talking. Actually, not when it's really quiet at night. You can hear people talking, and they're walking. These dogs get out. There's feral cats, we all know, and that's nor here or there. And I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is these dogs come, and you can see them in the video. They're chasing, and I think they're after either the cats or they could be after some other animals. And I assure you, the last thing I want to wake up to is hearing an animal being mauled or attacked, because I have witnessed that before, being woken up in the middle of the night. I don't want to see or hear that again. It's a horrible thing to have that happen, and to know that that's happened to a poor animal that's been attacked by more than one animal. So I'm really concerned about that. On the 31st, after they've picked up our traps and Christmas was kind of winding down, I decided that the dogs had come out again, and I decided at that time I had written an email to Josh Manis, Lieutenant Manis, I think it is. I have yet to hear back from him yet. Like I said, it's only been a week, but I know there's other pressing matters, so that's why I haven't pushed that issue yet. But we are neighbors, we do talk, and I know I'm not the only neighbor that's called about these dogs. We've all seen them. And I don't want the dogs, how can I say this? I'm not a mean person. I don't want them taken from their home. I don't want them hurt. I don't want them to be put down, if they're good dogs. And I also don't want their owners to go take them out and dump them somewhere, because we know that happens too. Especially because I know there's probably citations and fines, and if people just get fed up with it, that's what happens. Either they get killed, or they kill them, or they become some other neighborhood's problem. I don't want that either. I'm here to find out what we can do and what other deterrents that we can use to encourage these pet owners to keep their animals inside in their yards where they need to be. I've been a pet owner. I have a nice fence and gate. I check it. I make sure that my animals are not roaming around and causing any mischief or trouble. And I would think my neighbors would do the same. My understanding is the owners of these dogs, I live on Lindale. Part of the dogs live on Lotus Street, which is a street just to the west of me, and the other ones live on Beverly, which are just directly behind me to the east. So that is kind of where I'm at here, to see what could be done about things like this.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that here, and that's what we're here, is to listen and see what we can do.
Kathy, you need to get closer to your microphone. Please, turn it on. Is it on? Is there a green light?
Is it on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I tested them before, earlier.
Really?
There you go.
Oh, he's yelling at me.
Because you didn't have your microphone on, I wanted to make sure you heard me.
Thank you for bringing this to the committee. Oh, it works.
Well, can I ask a couple of questions? I know they give fines. I know that's my timer too, but I just got a question. The fines that they give, is there, maybe for people that are habitual, is there a way that they can maybe go stand and address the judge to find out what's this about?
We do have Erica here, who,
Okay.
Erica,
Or maybe they need to, instead of the fines, if they can't pay them, maybe some community service. I don't know what the answer is. All I know is I worry about the dogs, but I also worry about the neighborhood too. And I don't want any harm to come to either, but I'm not in control of that. If what happens once, that dog is taken, or I don't want to see them, like I said, just go dump them someplace. That's not the answer either.
okay.
But thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for,
To answer your question about the fine, that actually is not part of our function on this commission, but to gather the information is part of it. But we also have a representative, Lieutenant Hatch is here from the police department, and that would be addressed towards the police department. They're not responsible for imposing fines, but they are responsible for the enforcement
Okay.
of, and I'm in it too.
I was like, all right, who's Mike?
Lieutenant,
Yeah, if I can interject, so Lieutenant Manis oversees the entire patrol division. I'm, I guess, one of his coworkers and subordinates, and I directly oversee animal control. If it happened to get lost in the shuffle, you can always email me, or you can reach Erica at the animal control shelter. The animal control officers are primarily the ones that enforce fines, and if they come across maybe people that are less than cooperative, we'll send out an officer to assist them with, dealing with the person and ensuring that, nothing significant occurs, no harm comes in the way of the animal control officer, because I understand that some people can be kind of belligerent sometimes, especially if they're, a pet owner who's upset about, receiving a citation. But do you happen to have a business card on you? No? Are you going to be here for the duration of the meeting? I can get,
Yes.
I can get with you afterwards, and I can provide you with my email.
Okay. That's great.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank
and
you.
unless he's been in trouble, it's Captain Manis.
Oh, Captain, okay.
Yeah, it's
I
Captain.
wasn't sure. I just knew him as Josh, but I never.
I have
Okay.
other names for him too, but he's a captain.
Okay, well, I'll just make sure I address him as Captain. Thank you.
Yeah, just don't kiss the ring if you,
I don't kiss any rings.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there anybody in Zoom?
No.
Nobody else?
There's
Okay.
nobody else.
Okay. Approval of the minutes, everybody had a chance to read them.
yes.
I went in and signed them, went in and approved them. Reports, has everybody had a chance to look at the shelter stats for October, November, December?
Madam
To kind
Chairman,
of finish that.
having read the minutes, we should have a vote, a motion, and approve them.
Yeah, okay.
A motion that we approve the minutes?
I second.
He has to do this to me all the time.
I approve.
Minutes approved.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Opposed?
Minutes are approved.
Good job, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you. I am not a procedural person. I need to go to procedural school. Okay. I had a chance to look at the stats. They're pretty much done because, Erica, you're the one that writes the report? Good job. Really good job. I also like the way that you roll it all, or, wrap it all up, detailing what this means or what this number's for or why this is done. I like the attention to detail. It kind of takes away some of the questions for me.
Yeah, well,
I had questions.
throw my 2 cents in, I appreciate the cat stuff being in there like the dogs was. It lets me look at it and go, yep, okay, that all balances out, I get it now. And I have got to say, I'm impressed with 2 sets of numbers. One, obviously, probably because we're more local now, but the amount of people coming in is bound to make all of the numbers look better. And the euthanization is down across the board, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I like the detail, why they were euthanized. I see it's really, I'm impressed. So I think that's,
What was the other? Just out of curiosity.
The other could be ducks,
Oh, okay,
birds.
like from the pond or
possum,
whatever.
yeah, stuff like
Got
that.
it.
I think they even had a bat one time.
What?
I think they even had a bat
Bat?
one time.
I had one over by the cafe. I guess it forgot to go away at night, and it ended up hiding in the cubby next door because it was dark.
and you all got trained in first aid CPR. saw that and go, oh, that's cool. And you have a lot of visitors.
Yeah, they're coming in good.
We're up to almost, what,
Getting close to 3.
400?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was the last one?
yeah. I was
To
like,
go through and read
wow.
it again, but yeah, the numbers are going up.
And something I wanted to ask, is there any volunteer opportunities for someone to be like a receptionist or something? Because I see that it's like you're wearing so many hats, all the staff there.
Well, if I may answer, I don't know if the question is directed at her. As far as volunteer opportunities, this is actually a topic that I think got brought up recently in a Facebook thread. There was some discussion about volunteer opportunities. We've been in a state of transition from moving from the old shelter to the new shelter. And we're trying to ensure that we have the appropriate personnel, equipment, and training. And we're ironing out kinks with, the shelter, some equipment and stuff like that. And we're trying to ensure we have a smooth operation. Volunteer opportunities haven't been lost in the shuffle or anything like that. It's just, we want to make sure that the transition over here is smooth. I think we moved in August. Another consideration is that we want to streamline the application process for volunteers, because previously they would have to go through a lengthier background, but I think I was in communication with Commissioner Schwarzenberger, and that application is considerably streamlined compared to what we had previously. And we actually started reaching out to some of the applicants about filling out that secondary application. And I think I've received 4 out of the 7 that I've reached out to. And we'll probably be having interviews with them. And in the thread, I think there was some questions about, why is the background process so laborious? One of the reasons is that they're going to be working with other volunteers as well as people at our facilities, and we want to make sure that that they're reputable people with no arrest history, especially any violent offenses. So one of the processes is fingerprinting and then doing a cursory background. And also, these people are going to be around our computers, and sometimes our computers contain sensitive data. So we want to, safeguard, any of that type of data. So that might be, at least a couple of the reasons that the application process is taking a little bit longer than some people would be happy with. But it's never been, out of mind as a priority. It's just we want to make sure that we have the shelter running smoothly over here because it was a significant transition, and we want to make sure that we have a good streamlined process so we can ensure that good people are volunteering over at the shelter. Hopefully that might answer some questions you guys might have.
Okay, and one more thing. This is just me thinking, because I used to manage and run people in offices and stuff. Will staff have the availability to be part of the interview process, as well as have some input about what kind of people what kind of positions they need filled?
Actually, some of the people that I've called, I discussed them with Erica, because Erica actually recognizes some of the people that applied. I think there were a couple people that have previously been pet groomers and stuff like that. So we look at that as maybe beneficial, because not only could they help with making the dogs or cats more presentable to the public, but it's also hygienic standards, and it helps keep the animals healthy. So,
Okay.
we've consulted some of our staff regarding some of these volunteer applicants, and we like to start out with people that our staff knows, and I think actually quite a few of these applicants, how many do you think? Probably about
5?
Yeah, 4 or 5 people that Erica is familiar with, so.
Oh, good, good, good. I think that's great. Okay, so the answer is yes.
Yes.
That's great. I mean, I like that. Thank you, because everything that you mentioned is right on, is perfect, it's right on, and they know what they need. Staff knows what kind of people are needed there and what positions they can fill and give a really good hand. So that's great. Thanks, because it's the drop-ins are coming in, and I'm just hoping that they don't have to keep wearing all these hats, because they'll drop everything to answer questions. I've been in there probably too much just to check on them, making sure they're okay, complain. But they're all doing a great job. I mean, I will say that, and I want that to please go back to who needs to hear it, because they're great people. They work hard. They represent your department very, very well, very professionally. But that's my personal take, and the professionalism is always there, always there. And it's much appreciated, because it really puts a good, instead of being the mean old dog catcher, they're out to get the dogs, they're not. I've seen them try to work with people and families, and just remind them that there are rules. And I think that the approach that they take is pretty good. It is. I've had my dealings with them too. I've been an owner who has had to pay a fine because I've had a dog that was running around. And I did. I was. And I'm like, well, what can you do to help me? And they were very good about it. Never happened again. I became a good owner and kept my dog in the fence. I knew what I had to do, and I did it. So I appreciate all of them.
So with the new streamlined process and that second deal that was emailed to me, is that what everybody will start with now? The other one was the old one? Is that what it was? Because the other one almost seemed like a job app. I was like going through it like, eh.
So the first application is actually a City of Porterville application, like for even our police officers, they have to fill out one of those, and then they actually have to fill out after that what's called a PHS statement. And I used to do actually background investigations before my current job, and those were like 34 pages long.
Right.
Right, so they're still going to have to fill out the City of Porterville application, but that secondary application is our version that we're going to base the background on.
Okay.
Hopefully that kind of makes sense. So
So on average, once you get the flow going, how long do you think it'll take? Because I've had people ask me, how long does it take to be a volunteer? And I really can't answer it right now because I don't know. 'Cause I haven't finished it yet, so.
to give you a completely fair answer, the answer is it depends. And it's really contingent on what we're doing at the time. We'll have our background investigators working on backgrounds, but I think we're looking to fill 10 police officer positions. So
That's gotta come first.
usually the full-time positions will take precedence,
Oh,
for
yeah.
example, over the volunteer positions. And it'll also be contingent upon the needs of the department. The streamlined process, the background itself, can actually not take that long. Looking at that compared to the prior backgrounds where you had to go through 34 pages of PHS, this is going to be much more efficient. So when we actually get going on the background for the volunteer, I would imagine it'd probably take, maybe a week or two. But like I said, there's competing priorities.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's an objective to have volunteers in the shelter, and we'll try to get them there as soon as possible. But we just ask that, people be a little bit patient and understand that we do have these competing priorities and a limited number of background investigators.
Right. Okay. I can at least give some type of an intelligent answer now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to lead you astray by saying it'll take 1 week, when I can't
Yeah, you
guarantee
can't
that.
predict it with certainty, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. But bottom line, Erica, great job on the stats. Appreciate it. Well, it was really good. I like the wrap up on it too. I love that. I love it when they put it all together. Okay. Scheduled matters. Any other questions about this?
There was another agenda item, euthanasia policy.
Yeah,
So
on
that's
the
on the
schedule.
schedule, yeah.
Euthanasia policy is, do we have any part of it?
That was, I think, that actually came from Kathleen.
Oh, okay, okay. So we can table that till next time, or ask her if she still wants to do it?
Well, if we have the answers to it, I mean,
She's the one who has the questions to ask. Let's go ahead and table it
Yeah,
so that she can ask the questions that she wants to ask.
okay. All right. Any more?
No sense having to go through it twice, right?
yeah, well, to me, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, regulations with it, so.
I don't even have a question in front of me, but we can wait until she gets here, because she probably has specific questions, or,
Oh, I'm sure.
yeah, okay.
Or opinions. We're mumbling. I
Yes.
apologize.
Okay, okay. There's nobody on Zoom?
Nobody.
At this time, are there any more oral communications from the public? Good, good.
Done again.
Any other matters?
Yep. I do.
Go ahead.
Do we have any opinion or disposition on the sign? The sign from the old shelter has been brought to the new shelter. Erica and I were discussing it the other day. Is there any plans on rehabilitating the old sign, and placing it in front of the building?
We can discuss that. At the present time, we feel based on the increase of traffic and general public awareness, there were no current plans to increase the signage. But, I mean, it's something that we can take a look at. I wasn't aware.
Yeah, the sign has been used for years, but it's a really nice sign, and if
Oh, is
nothing
it?
else,
He
just,
went into the shelter for licenses.
Oh.
And so, he asked about the signage again, and, from the last meeting, I kind of told him, because it was brought from the old shelter to the new shelter, and it's in the back area.
Beautiful
It's
sign.
not up where public can see or anything, it's up against the wall. So what he's requesting is that we do, we
Revamp
spiff
it?
it up and we place that out in the road area, so that way there's a sign out.
yeah,
and they
just
brought this up
the
last
nature,
week.
the nature of the sign, I
Oh.
think it would enhance the aesthetics of the facility and make people who are just driving by be more aware of the location of the
building is,
facility and
yeah.
what it's there for. Because if you don't know the street and you drive down, there's a lot of old bank buildings on that street that still look like old bank buildings.
Yep.
And it would make I think it would make the facility a little more identifiable in a pretty nice way.
Okay. I think Lieutenant Ortiz attended the last meeting at my place, and I reviewed the prior minutes, and I saw that there was discussion about the signage. I wasn't aware it was specifically in relation to this old sign that we already had, but
Right.
I can discuss it with command staff and, investigate the possibility of utilizing it. So,
Hole in a bag of sacrete, and it's good to go.
okay.
Had the old address or something on it.
Yeah.
Didn't it have the old address on it and
I-
it's
I-
wood or something?
Yeah,
Or
but-
it's
There's
gonna
something
have
on there
to
would,
be-
it would
It's
need to
carved
be.
into wood, though, it could be
Yeah,
filled in
it
and
sure
gone
is.
over, and it
Oh,
would
is that how
go
that
away.
works?
You could,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's, could be a real easy makeover.
Okay.
I know the control, we'd have to take off the control part and put services, because our name changed.
Okay.
So that part would have to
That
change,
official.
and the address hung on
Right.
like this little, metal piece. So that part, we could actually take that off, and you could add another wood piece with a new address. But,
Well, that's right, it is a separate piece, so.
God, I mean, besides the control to services,
Mhm.
it says City of Porterville, and then you just put animal services.
Okay. Yeah, I could look into that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Either that or donate it to the museum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
I wasn't personally aware of this sign until just now, so I don't want to give you an answer or a promise or anything like that without, running up the chain, but Thanks for bringing it to my attention.
He's shooting for chief some.
It's a beautiful
Oh, no,
sign,
I'm-
And when it was out
They
in,
must've just
out
approved
out
their
there, in
budget.
I call it Lindsay Exeter, it caught your eye, you could see it. I mean,
Oh, really?
Right, yeah, it's a great sign. It's a great sign.
Big brown wood with yellow lettering on the bottom. It's really big and it has the City of Porterville logo in the center. So it's pretty big.
Yeah, I don't know the origin of the sign, but it looks like something that may have been made by at the facility up in the mountains where the work crews from
Mountain
the
Home?
county prison go work, Mountain
Oh,
Home.
maybe, yeah.
It looks like a Mountain Home project, but maybe not.
It's a beautiful sign.
You were joking about shooting for chief. I'm just a street cop. I'm trying not to embarrass my boss.
Well, you're a good street cop.
I'd like to think so. Thank you, though.
I do have one, another question for Eric, if I can, only because I've had two people ask me. When you guys have the food pantry deal, someone asked me how often is someone allowed to get something from that?
It's once a month.
Once a month. That's what I figured, but I said I'd
From
ask.
the date they start coming. And it's all contingent on, if we have food.
Obviously, yeah.
And so, yeah, when we get there in the morning, sometimes we have 250 phone messages. Like, it's just, and then we're having to listen to every single one, or write all the names and numbers down. But yes, to answer your question, it would be once a month.
Okay, so when they asked, which would have made sense to me anyways, because when they were getting the picture and everything, I figured that's what you were
Yeah,
doing.
it's a 50-pound bag, so once a month.
Okay, perfecto.
I think it's a great service to have.
Oh, no, we're already past it, but good job on the TNRs and stuff. Those numbers went up as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other matters? I do have a question. I know this comes up once in a while, because just jogged my memory. Animal services, it's Porterville Animal Services now? Is it official now?
Has it been changed in the charter and so what you're asking, correct?
That's what we've been using in-house at the very minimum. I can confirm that later, but
I believe it has been.
Okay,
I'm like
Yeah,
99.9, it has already been changed, because I've already changed most of the things that come across from control to services.
okay.
And even on my end of the month reports, I try, everything that I see control on is changed to service, and our van is also Portable Animal Services.
Okay, because we're still Porterville, we're still Animal Control
A
Commission.
lot of people say, yeah,
Yeah, well, and I think the reason that came back up in her brain was because we were told before that it had to go through all that, be permanent for you guys in the charter before they could do the request to change us. Because we should match, you know.
We should match. So can we get that done?
If we had a sign we could match.
I'll discuss it with Captain Manus, but I'm pretty certain, at least internally, we've been using animal services as far as your name change. I'm not certain the procedure for that. I'm not certain if it would have to be something done with the city council or,
It does, and that's why he was saying the charter for
And I've gone
them
that
had to be
route.
done
I've
first.
gone that
and then
route before, and it nothing happened.
okay.
I've done that.
We've asked it a few
long-
times, but nothing ever comes back.
Nothing ever happens, and it goes right back to the police department. City government, come on.
All right, I'll make a note of it, and I'll be,
Can you be the little squeaky wheel for us?
I'll see what I can do. I don't know if it's something that city council specifically has to do, but I'll be the squeaky wheel. I'll
Thank you.
bring it up to the bosses and see what the
Yeah,
necessary process
Because
is.
they were supposed to have done it too.
Yeah, it'll go up through the chain because
Again.
captain will talk to chief, who will in turn talk to the city manager, who will in turn talk
Right.
to,
Okay, we're all nodding our heads again.
all right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That it?
I'm done.
Yep, I gotta go to work.
Okay, bye. Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. Thank you for coming. Erica?